Hello everyone, Darkseeker here again, and today we are playing Zalae's Cubelock on standard mode. Now you've seen me play Cubelock on wild mode. I've had a lot of fun playing it on wild, debated different cards that should or shouldn't be included. Today we're playing Cubelock on standard. Along with Big Spell Mage, Cubelock is probably my other favourite deck in Hearthstone at the moment. And on wild mode, obviously, we have access to cards like Void Caller, Mal'Ganis, additional tools that just make Cubelock so powerful. In standard, you don't have access to Mal'Ganis, you don't have access to Void Caller, so you have to find other ways to make the deck as powerful. So Mountain Giant is an interesting way of achieving that. We have Prince Tal'Daram in this deck as well, and let's not forget Skull of the Man'ari to get those demons out onto the board very early. And of course, let's not forget some of the insane combos that you can do in this deck. So how about having an injured Doomguard on the board? It's done some work, it's done some charging and some trading, now it's hurt, it's injured. Well, you simply play the cube, swallow up that Doomguard, and then Dark Pact your cube. The cube dies, you gain 8 health, and then 2 Doomguards pop out and charge face, which is amazing. And then play Bloodreaver Guldan and get all of the Doomguards back to life. So there are some interesting things that you can do in this deck. And let's not forget Spirit Singer Umbra. For when you play that cube, swallow up that Doomguard, and then the Doomguards come out of the cube because of Umbra. So you take it a step further. So let's start off looking at our first little game here against a rogue. So we see the Void Lord in our opening hand. It's not what we want to see. This is not wild mode. We do not have Void Callers that can bring the Void Lord out onto the board. But there is Skull of the Man'ari. See, now we can use that to bring the Void Lord out onto the board. What we do fear, though, is weapon destruction. And so in wild mode, there is a debate over whether you play Skull of the Man'ari or Void Callers, or both. But I think the argument is that Void Callers are better because they give you a bit of tempo, they give you a body on board. Skull of the Man'ari, on the turn you play it, you're often doing nothing else. So if I play on turn 5, I'm doing nothing else on turn 5. So it's slow. But when you look at the value that you get from it over the preceding turns, it's insane. But as I say, what you do fear is weapon destruction. So acidic Swampus would be very bad for us here. So we're just taking our time here, just drawing cards. Health total is still respectable at 26. He hasn't had a chance to do anything fancy with his weapon. So on the Death Rattle, that weapon will go back into his deck. But he's not had a chance to put any fancy buffs on it, which, of course, on Death Rattle also travel with the weapon back into the deck. So this is fine. This is fine. So this looks like Tempo Rogue. Okay, so he's drawn the weapon, but chooses to dagger up instead. Fair enough. So we have Defile here. Defile could work. It clears the board. It removes 6 attack from the board. But the thing is, are we really that scared of 6 attack? Is the Giant better? Or actually, is Mortal Coil better followed by the giant. So we sort of go halfway there, remove 3 attack rather than 6 attack, and develop a massive, massive threat. Now, what we're scared of is there's Valspine here, potentially, if he can get it out somehow. Although that's probably going to be next turn, because he needs to combo it with something. I mean, he could backstab Valspine, I guess. Lone Champion. Interesting. Divine Shield and Taunt. Okay. That's fine. I think it's time we get something big onto the board to go with the giant. That's big. So the other option there was to play Skull of the Minari, but I think this is just better. We've healed, and we've got a fat thing out onto the board, a fat minion. I know that's quite insulting to call them fat. I mean, if you ever met a Void Lord in real life, if they ever existed, and you called it fat to its face, yeah, it'd probably attack you and kill you, but thankfully these cards are not real. They're all make-believe, right? This is a card game after all, so I can call these minions whatever I want to call them. Another mountain giant. Is it worth playing here? We have these spell stones. I guess we may as well. And just push damage there. The healing wasn't doing much for us because our health total was already quite significant. This is fine. So at this point, we've not played Skull of the Minari. We've not had a chance to. We've chosen not to. We've chosen to develop other things, you know, instead. We've chosen plays that are perhaps slightly faster. So what does that tell us about Skull of the Minari? Like in this instance here, why develop Skull of the Minari when you can clear a board and play a giant? So again, is that card too slow in this instance?
There once was a man from Gilneas.
He's really struggling here, and he's dead, and I think he knows it. We have the Doomguard. It's over. So we didn't even need Bloodreaver Guldan here. And that is the power of this deck. Just the demons alone are enough. Don't even need to resummon them. Okay, we're going to close out this video by looking at a few clips, a few interesting highlights, and look at this. This warrior tried to kill me with Alex and Grommash. My cube had 2 Gromms stored in it. Defile then gave me an insane lethal. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the power of Faceless Manipulator and the cube. Absolutely insane. Okay, in this little clip, this priest has got quite a scary board in play. I mean, a whole host of scary minions. Well, I have 2 cubes down. I wonder, what's in these cubes? Oh, Doomguards. 4 Doomguards. Not quite lethal, but still a ridiculous amount of damage. So the power of Defile there, the power of the cube on display. And you know what? Even if he found a way to get through my board, I have Bloodreaver Guldan. I'll just bring those Doomguards back to life. or as many of them as will fit on the board, based on which other demons come back to life as well. May as well just do this for laughs. I mean, what's he gonna do? And that is lethal. Okay, one final clip against another priest. And this is a very scary board. I have a very low health total. But Defile there. Defile is just mental. Look at his health total compared to mine. Deathwing Dragon Lord. And if you're the priest, you're feeling pretty comfortable at this point. You're thinking, hey, I've got this 12/12 on board. Well, I have a Death Knight. So now, that Deathwing Dragon Lord, as impressive as it is, there is a wall of taunts standing in the way. 4 taunts on board, and then another 3 when the Void Lord dies. Of course, it steals Hellfire. And now I have to panic a bit because I'm thinking, oh god, my wall of taunts is gone. Well, turns out that we have lethal here. This kind of lethal is not always easy to spot. But again, the power of the cube, the power of Dark Pact, that's all we needed. Sometimes you can get so obsessed with looking at the board, wanting to clear the board, looking at your health total, stressing out over it and thinking, God, how do I survive? And then you just realise, oh, I have a cube, I have a Dark Pact, I have Doomguards, it's over. So I've had quite a few wins with Doomguards coming out of cubes, and just being a fun kind of lethal to get because often it's unexpected. Dark Pact's such a good card, lots of different uses, you know, not just healing your face, but also bringing out various threats, various demons that can wreak havoc. On Wild Mode, I'm quite happy to use a Dark Pact on a cube to bring out a double Mal'Ganis. You know, can't do that on Standard, but hey, bringing out 2 Void Lords from a cube is insane. Bringing out 2 Doomguards is also insane. Hey, 2 Mountain Giants is still a massive threat that needs to be dealt with. You know, even a cube on Possessed Lackey is not bad because you bring out 2 lackeys, which in turn eventually bring out 2 big demons from your deck. So, Carnivorous Cube, such a good card. Prince Tal'Daram, not really had a chance to do much with the Prince, actually. I see the value, but I wonder, the Prince and Double Faceless, is that really necessary in this deck? It's something to think about. Skull of the Minari. Yeah, it's done some work for me, but in other ways it's been quite underwhelming because, again, as you saw in one of the clips earlier, you're always looking for that opportunity to develop it, and sometimes you can never quite find that opportunity because the initial setup of that card, of that weapon, is too slow, and often there are more proactive plays that you can make on a given turn which make more sense. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me, everyone, and a big thank you to Zalae for this deck. It's done well for me, taken me to rank 8. You know, I'm rank 4 on Wild Mode at the moment, so hitting rank 8 on Standard for me as a casual player is a big bonus, and this deck has been working wonders for me, so a big thank you to Zalae for the deck, and thank you to everyone, to all of you guys out there who've been watching this video and supporting me, and I'll see you all again very soon for more Hearthstone fun.